A dramatic and massive drug smuggling bust today in Arizona. Under the cover of smoke grenades with guns raised, sheriff deputies take out 17 suspects connected with the Casa Grande drug smuggling operation. More than 935 pounds of marijuana and 12 weapons were seized, along with 1,000 rounds of ammunition and $35,000. The Pinal County Sheriff's Department was involved in that operation. And as Sheriff Babeu told me, this is about crippling a major drug smuggling operation and the Mexican drug cartel that's behind it, which has been smuggling up to 50,000 pounds of marijuana a month through Arizona.
We executed 12 search warrants yesterday and recovered a dozen plus guns. And these, of course, are from prohibited possessors. These aren't the people that Eric Holder and Barack Obama try to make our own law-abiding citizens prohibited possessors, but these are actual illegals, drug cartel members from a foreign country that think they own the place, bringing their trash and their violence here to America. And we went after these people, not only in Pinal County, we went into Tucson, we went into Phoenix, wherever the nexus was in Pinal County, but wherever it's spiderweb with this drug trade organization, we went after them. And we arrested 17 of these key drug smugglers. And these folks are responsible just for the marijuana, 50,000 pounds a month in trafficking through our county.
Absolutely. I mean, this was part of the Casa Grande drug smuggling operation?
Yes, this is part of it. It's all working right out of Pinal County. And people like Jan Napolitano say the border's more secure than ever. Well, what the heck's going on here? We seized not only guns, but 1,000 rounds of ammunition. Last month, as you know, we seized 2,000 rounds of ammunition. 1,000 of them were the cop-killing, armor-piercing bullets that they're smuggling south into Mexico to use likely in the guns that Eric Holder and Fast and Furious facilitated into the hands of these criminals.
So were you acting on a tip? Because I know you've been carrying out operations like this all month.
Yes. Well, a lot of these are connected together, and we don't let the bad guys know it, that we've been up on them with surveillance, with a lot of other technology that we don't disclose publicly, but we're using every advantage we can to bring to bear against these people in the absence of full federal action to protect our citizens and to stop this crime and this drug smuggling.
Because this really was the result of teamwork, several law enforcement agencies, right?
Well, not only all the local, we have 13 local agencies in Pinal County, but we had DPS, we had even our local Border Patrol and ICE. We have a famous relationship with the line officers and ICE. They do a tremendous job. It's just the people up top that are screwed up.
Do you feel like you dealt a major blow to these guys?
It's a major blow because if we can crush their operations, not just take off 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 of their couriers, but if we can take out key managers in the middle level and upper end, this is where it takes a lot more effort and time for them to reconstitute, to regenerate their organization.
I mean, if you and your deputies and these agencies weren't doing the work you were doing, I mean, these guys, you're working on cracking down on them. What else is getting through, despite the fact that you've got an administration that says, hey, it's safe, it's secure, it's the best ever?
Jenny, we're just scratching the surface.
Mm-hmm.
But we had another bust that's connected to this with 103 pounds of black tar heroin, 200 pounds of methamphetamine, cash, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. This past year, we seized $1.8 million in actual cash. This is what we're fighting, and we have been struggling to even get the weapons that we need to fight these guys so we're not outgunned.
Mm-hmm. It really is tough because I know when I've talked to your deputies, they've told me, hey, we're outgunned and we're outmanned.
Exactly, and this is where we've been asking for help from the federal government because there shouldn't be just one county and one sheriff fighting here and then another sheriff in some other area of the border. This has to be a uniform approach to secure the border. This has to be done, a core responsibility of the federal government. If they do anything, it's to protect America, to protect our families here at home.
Yep.
Yet we continue all these major operations all over the world, spending the riches of our country, and 28,600 soldiers just in Korea. We got soldiers in Japan and Germany, and never mind Iraq and Afghanistan. What about protecting our own country right here?
Yep. Because you've said it from the start, a threat to our national security. But I know it's early, but I'm sure you're going to be checking to see if any of these guns you confiscated are connected to Operation Fast and Furious.
We don't know,
Yeah.
and they could be. And this is the what's so ironic. The very people we have to check with is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. The folks under Eric Holder who facilitated 2,000 guns into the hands of the most violent criminals in North America. So how do we get accuracy? How do we get the truth? How do we get, without months of delays, without confirming or saying, ruling it out? These people need to be held accountable for the crimes that they've committed. Eric Holder was the boss, and he has been not only stalling, he's already been caught in likely perjuring himself before Congress, and he's walking back these statements. In the end, even if he didn't know, he's the boss. And this happened on his watch. He's got to own it, and he's doing everything to run and duck for cover, and that's not a sign of a leader. That's a sign of somebody who's hiding the truth, and this is a large scandal, and we're going to hold these people to account.
Yep, and I know that you and on another note, several other sheriffs have called for a special prosecutor, but that hasn't happened yet, but the Attorney General has received a subpoena. Your thoughts on...
Well, it's pretty sad when the top prosecutor in our country has to be ordered to tell the truth. And when members of Congress say, that, like Senator Grassley and Congressman Issa, who are heroes for our country, have said that they've had private conversations with Eric Holder last year, so clearly he's lying when they've talked to him about this and raised concerns about it. So this guy is, if these senators and congressmen are saying, I would trust them any day of the week over Eric Holder and Barack Obama and Janet Napolitano.
Getting back to the bus, can you give us an idea, when you did this raid, did you catch them all off guard?
Oh, yeah. All these search warrants, we have to get all our brothers in arms to help us when we do this, because to execute 12 search warrants, we try to do it as close to the same time as possible, because they all run for cover. They're all calling each other, trying to get each other, and we try to get them first thing in the morning and catch them even while they're not even awake, as they're just getting up from bed. Mm-hmm. So we surprise them, and we have a dynamic attack against them, and this is what works so well.
Well, I'm sure you're going to keep doing it, too, because if you don't do it, who else is?
Right. We're not letting up, and rest assured, the men and women in law enforcement in Arizona are going to stand and continue to bring the fight against these drug cartels. And I would just wish that we had some help from our federal government, but they're too busy trying to go after our constitutional rights and to make the case to blame America at every turn. Go after even Mexico. The 90% of the weapons go into Mexico. They blame on America. Well, stop apologizing for America and stand up for America. Be proud as Americans and protect our rights for once. And this is what this president has not done.